The American experiment is founded on a unique premise that government derives its just powers from the consent of the governed. This foundational idea is what sets the United States apart from many other nations, where power is often seized or inherited rather than granted by the people. This consent is not given blindly, but entrusted to elected officials who swear a sacred oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. This act of swearing an oath is a profound moment, symbolizing a deep commitment to the values and principles that define our nation. This oath is not a mere formality. It is the bedrock of our republic. It signifies a pledge to honor the rule of law and to serve the public with integrity and dedication. It is a solemn promise to safeguard the very principles of liberty that our founding fathers fought and died for. These principles include the pursuit of justice, the protection of individual freedoms, and the commitment to a government that is accountable to its citizens. They are entrusted with the weighty responsibility of representing the people, upholding the rule of law, and protecting the God-given rights enshrined in our founding document. This responsibility is not to be taken lightly, as it carries the hopes and aspirations of millions of Americans. When an elected official violates this oath, they betray not just their office, but the very essence of our nation. Such a betrayal undermines the trust that the public places in their leaders and erodes the foundations of our society. The Constitution, with its carefully crafted checks and balances, is a testament to the founders' wisdom and foresight. They designed a system that would prevent any one branch of government from becoming too powerful, ensuring that liberty and justice would prevail. They understood the inherent dangers of unchecked power and the potential for tyranny to take root. Their experiences and insights led them to create a framework that would protect future generations from the abuses of power they had witnessed. The oath of office serves as a bulwark against these threats, a constant reminder that those who govern are themselves subject to the supreme law of the land. It is a pledge to uphold the values of our republic, to act with integrity, and to always put the interests of the nation above personal gain. The Constitution, particularly the Bill of Rights, stands as a bulwark against government overreach. It is the bedrock upon which our freedoms are built, a timeless document that has guided our nation through centuries of change and challenge. The Second Amendment, often under attack, is the cornerstone of all our liberties. It is a fundamental right that ensures the security of a free state, a safeguard against tyranny and oppression. It guarantees the right of the people to keep and bear arms, a right that is essential to maintaining a free state. This right is not just about owning firearms. It is about the ability to defend oneself, one's family, and one's community from threats, both foreign and domestic. It is not about hunting or sport shooting. It is about the inherent right of self-defense against tyranny in all its forms. This principle was deeply understood by our founders, who had experienced firsthand the dangers of a government that oversteps its bounds. Yet, some elected officials, blinded by their own ambition or misguided ideology, chip away at these foundational principles. They propose laws and regulations that infringe upon our rights, often under the guise of safety or progress. They exploit loopholes, twist interpretations, and ignore the clear intent of our founders. These actions erode the trust between the government and the governed, creating a divide that weakens our nation. They forget that the Constitution is not a living document subject to the whims of the day, but rather an enduring contract between the governed and those who govern. It is a framework designed to protect our liberties and ensure justice for all. The very fact that we are having this discussion is a testament to the erosion of respect for the Constitution. It highlights the need for vigilance and active participation in our government to preserve the freedoms we hold dear. The oath of office, once considered sacrosanct, is now treated by some as a mere formality, an inconvenient obstacle on their path to power. This shift in attitude undermines the integrity of our political system and the principles upon which it was founded. This disregard for the fundamental law of our land is a dangerous precedent, a slippery slope that threatens to undermine the very fabric of our republic. It is a call to action for all citizens to reaffirm their commitment to the Constitution and the values it enshrines, ensuring that liberty and justice prevail for future generations. When an elected official violates their oath to the Constitution, they commit a grave offense against the American people. They betray the trust that has been placed in them and undermine the very foundations of our republic. This betrayal takes many forms, from blatant disregard for constitutional limits on government power to subtle erosions of our fundamental rights. Some officials, seduced by the allure of power, engage in blatant corruption, using their office for personal gain. They line their pockets with taxpayer dollars, engage in quid pro quo arrangements, and prioritize special interests over the common good. Such behavior is not just unethical, it is a direct assault on the principles of transparency, accountability, and equal justice under the law. Others, driven by ideological zealotry, attempt to impose their will on the people, disregarding the constitutional limits on their authority. They enact laws that infringe on our fundamental freedoms, engage in executive overreach, and weaponize the power of government against their political opponents. This disregard for the rule of law is a hallmark of tyranny and a direct threat to the freedoms enshrined in our Constitution. The Constitution provides mechanisms to address these transgressions, ensuring that no one is above the law and that justice is served. Impeachment, a process by which public officials can be removed from office for treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors, stands as a powerful deterrent against executive abuse. This process is a critical component of our system of checks and balances, designed to prevent any single branch of government from becoming too powerful. While the standard for high crimes and misdemeanors is not explicitly defined, it encompasses serious breaches of public trust and violations of the oath of office. These can include acts that undermine the integrity of the government, abuse of power, or actions that are fundamentally incompatible with the duties of the office. Similarly, Congress has the power to censure its own members for misconduct. This power is an essential tool for maintaining the integrity and ethical standards of the legislative body. Censure, a formal statement of disapproval, carries significant weight as a public rebuke and can damage the reputation and political standing of the censured official. It serves as a clear message that certain behaviors are unacceptable and will not be tolerated. While it does not result in removal from office, it serves as a powerful deterrent and a reminder that even elected officials are not above the law. The threat of censure can influence behavior and encourage adherence to ethical standards. Beyond these formal mechanisms, the ultimate check on government power rests with the people. The power of the electorate is the foundation of our society. Through the ballot box, citizens have the power to hold their elected officials accountable for their actions. Voting is not just a right, but a responsibility that ensures our leaders reflect the will of the people. This requires vigilance, engagement, and a willingness to hold our leaders to the highest standards of conduct. Active participation in the democratic process is essential for the health and longevity of our republic. We must remember that the Constitution is not a self-enforcing document. It is a framework that requires our active involvement to bring its principles to life. It requires the active participation of citizens who understand their rights and are willing to defend them. Knowledge and awareness of our constitutional rights empower us to protect them. In conclusion, any public official, whether elected or unelected, who pushes laws or regulations that infringe on the rights of the citizens has violated their oath of office. We need to hold these officials accountable. They need to be removed from office and thrown in jail. If the state has provisions for charges of treason in cases of violating an oath of office, then those charges should be pursued. The Constitution is very clear on what public officials are able to do and what they cannot do. Any law that violates the Constitution is a direct violation of the oath of office. It's time to step up, patriots, and defend the Constitution from the very people we elected to protect it. I took an oath to defend the Constitution from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. We have too many holding public office who have become enemies of the Constitution, the nation, and the people. It's time to remove them from office and charge them with the violation of their oath. We need to make an example out of them so that this never has to be done again. Time to clean house, America. Stay frosty, my friends. Keep your head down and your powder dry.